Hey Regicide, as promised, this is a talk on things I like to do. Actually, it's a talk on one thing that I like to do, and that's to take long walks, hikes, really, because it's relaxing, it's beneficial for the heart, it sheds weight, it builds muscle, it's generally good. And walking is kind of a low impact thing. If you have a good pair of shoes, it's like almost no impact whatsoever. Before recording this video, I went on a 2.5 hour walk, which works out to be about 7 miles. I walked just down the valley, so to speak. But, I've gone on far longer walks, and I mean, 2 miles is now almost nothing to me. Um, I've walked, I've walked, you know, across state lines. I walked across county lines. I've walked from one country into another. That was a couple summers ago when I did the Camino Santiago, and I'll tell you more about that in a different video. But I lost a whole bunch of weight. I went from fat to not quite as fat, but I lost a whole bunch of weight, and it was just like walking from place to place. It's a great way to get around, and you see things that you don't normally see when you're driving in a car. Um, I mean, I've seen animals, I've seen litter, I've seen all sorts of things that are kind of amusing uh, together, but they're amusing in a sort of unpleasant, grim sort of way. But it's a great way to think because it takes a little bit of energy to move your feet, and it takes a little bit of thinking to uh, know where to plant them. But the thing is that because it only takes a little bit, it's enough to keep you from getting too distracted. Because if you're just sitting there staring off into space, the nothing becomes something. But constantly walking, it's a good place to think. It's also a good place to talk. Back when I was in high school, there was a group of friends. There were like 5 or 6 of us, and we would walk in circles around the courtyard, and we would just talk. And we could have stopped at any time and talked, but it was setting up a nice cadence and walking from place to place. And even though it was the same thing, it was always. It's interesting that, I've walked the same stretch of road hundreds of times, and every time I see something different. And also at the same time, there are things that it's like I see, and it's like, oh, this is this waypoint, or oh, this is that waypoint, or, you know, so it's like there are some things which are new and some things which are old and some things which are constantly changing. Um, but walking is great fun. Um, Someday I'll take a walk with you, long, long walk. Just say, Pop, I want to go for a walk, and we will go for a walk wherever. Maybe not quite to the point of bring a tent, but I've done walks that I haven't brought a tent on a walk yet, but I've done, as I said, I walked from one country into another at 20 miles a day, 30 miles a day one day, and but it's a good experience, and it's relaxing, and it's fun, and I know it seems incredibly boring, but um, it's not just the walk where you go with your feet, it's the walk that you take up here. So, anyway, Regicide, have a great day, and I will talk to you later.